out in Quebec, there was an abduction, and when a child gets abducted, it's very hard to find them. What happened was this child was literally taken right from the hospital, and the woman came in with scrubs, said that she was going to wash the baby or clean the baby up or whatever, and it says here that she went to weigh the baby, and I got to come weigh the baby. So she takes off with the child, and when a little while later, they realize, hey, this woman doesn't work here, and she's taken off with our child. So Amber Alert goes out on Facebook. They get a license plate number, and a few hours later, they find the car. Police knock down the door. They take the child, and in a matter of just a few hours, that child was back in the baby's mother's arms. Joe, your thoughts?
Get out of here. That's incredible.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah. And
No, that's really crazy that she all she had to do was wear scrubs and get through. Like, aren't they supposed to wear badges on their chest?
Well, I think
or lanyards around their necks, and like the badges even open doors. How did she get into the nursery without a badge?
I think I can't speak for the Quebec hospitals because I don't know what their security is, but I know in the United States when my kids were born, this was almost 20 years ago, that they did have to have badges to get in, and you had to get a sign-in sheet so they knew who was there and who wasn't there and who belongs in that ward. Now the security's even tighter, so you can't just walk in there and say, "Oh, hey, I'm going to go see the babies."
Maybe it's because there's no crime in Canada. They just don't bother locking up nurseries.
Yeah, like remember Michael Moore did that thing, walk up to people's doors. Hey, their door's unlocked. Hey, the door's unlocked. Maybe they left the baby's door unlocked this time.
they left the nursery door unlocked. That's crazy. And when they're newborn, they all look the same. So how do you know you get the right one back?
Right.
Like, oh, it has his father's eyes. No, it doesn't. It looks like that one.
Take them out of his mouth. Yeah.
Take the fingers out of the mouth. My baby doesn't do that. Right.
Is it true that like when they're born they actually write on them with a marker? Like they'll give a marker to the mom and she'll like be like, "This one's mine."
I've never heard that before. Yeah,
I was wondering, do they do that?
I've never heard.
It never happened to me, Joe, and I've had 8 kids.
Yeah. So if there's anybody's going to be an authority on how many kids that she signed, yes, I made this signed. Practical magic.
Yeah, but you had all your kids back when there was like a drive-through window in the nursery, and they just
hand them
out.
Pop them out. That was how I went.
Yeah.
Infant Frodella.
You want fries with that?
Do you want fries with that infant? Comes with a free shake.
Yeah, I had the frequent flyer miles.
Connie, your thoughts?
The only thing that it brings up is like, how awful would this have been if this was false? Because they actually broke down the person's door.
Yeah,
it's just like. But yeah, I tried to research a little bit because mention is made. Well, there's false Amber Alerts, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll look at that. In 2004, there were 233 Amber Alerts. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly where this was, but 117 were family abductions, which were more about custody disputes. So it wasn't a stranger taking the kids. 48 were lost, runaways, or a misunderstanding, like somebody was, the kid went home with a friend and spent the night, and or a hoax. And then 23 of those were people who just saw a kid getting into a car and they thought it was an abduction. And so only about a very small fraction of them were actual Amber Alerts. And so a really easy way, for us to all, and then we all get the the Facebook or the email alert says, oh, there's an Amber Alert. If you go to the NCMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children,
right, you
can check and see if this is an actual Amber Alert. And Snopes is also really good about posting.
Oh yeah.
False ones. So
there was one many years ago, and it's still making the rounds, sadly enough, to email say, "Hey, you got to find this child." And this was many years ago. This was almost 20 years ago in itself, when email was still just starting out. It's like this child actually did. I forget the exact story, what happened, but the child went missing. They found the child, and but the parents had sent out an email to their friends and say, "Hey, come help me, come look for my daughter or son or whoever it was." I don't remember, But
Yeah.
and then they said, oh, they found it, but they never reissued an alert to the people that they sent it to say, yeah, we found our baby or found our child. Everything's fine. And so no one did a retraction. And it just kept going, and people are still like looking for this kid 20 years later, and it's like, hey, I'm right fucking here. You can stop looking for me. Yes,
20 years later on the internet?
Yeah, 20 years later, it's still out there on the internet. It's like, what the hell?
Unfortunately, he's
Wow.
still on his parents' couch playing video games.
Yeah, he's on the petty. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not missing. You want to take him? No.
So it started on like Prodigy and Earthlink,
Yeah.
and it's just still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
You
20
get that
years
little
later.
dial-up
20 years-
sound.
They found contact so and so at AOL.com.
Right. And it has been going around for quite some time. Yeah, Snopes is a good one for that. So
Yeah.
It's good that Snopes does that. That's good.
yes,
It is.
absolutely.